Okay, so in the previous video, I kind of worked our way up to this type of ensemble learning, and I started with decision stump, and I kind of alluded that decision stump is very often used with a type of ensemble learning called boosting. So now in this video, I'm going to kind of combine it all, and I'm going to talk about boosting with decision stump. But there's really no reason that we have to use decision stump. We could, I suppose, use other types of learners, and you can definitely go into Weka and explore that and experiment. In this video, I'm just going to talk about decision stump. There's different types of boosting. I'm just going to talk very generically right now. I'll be talking about a type of boosting basically called adaptive boosting. So let's go ahead and begin here. So if you remember ensemble learning, what we're doing is we're combining multiple learners. And so with bootstrap aggregation, the goal was to do resampling and then to kind of combine them at the end. In this one, we're going to kind of do something maybe somewhat similar. So let's kind of start off here. Let's do our decision stump. So this is going to be step 1. The second one's going to be step 2, and we'll just do a 2-round. A 2-iteration boost, and then the final one will show how it combines together. So let's do this first decision stump and say our best answer that we get. We go through all the different combinations, and then this is kind of the best split right here. We've got 4 correctly classified, but 1 plus is off, and then this one we have this is off. Right? So this is pretty good. We only have 1 error on each side, and we're just going to initially assume even cost weighting. So we have our first learner. Now we kind of go on to the second iteration, the second stage, and we say, okay, now we want to try to get this guy right. We want to get this one right, and so what they'll actually do is they'll weight it. They'll put a higher weight to trying to get these correctly, and we want to get this one right. And so what kind of split, what kind of one-level decision could get these two right if they had a lot of weight to them? Well, probably something like this, right? And I'll show a video. This is kind of, and that's supposed to be a straight line. I apologize, but and I'll show a video of many data points, and this is kind of cool to watch when you visualize it. But then we have our combination stage. So we want a stronger learner that kind of combines both of these things. So we have the first learner kind of works up until this point, and then maybe we do something like this, right? And then that splits, and then so we kind of combine these together, right, to get our new kind of tree, our new learner. And this is essentially how they work. And so what happened here is we only have 1 plus wrong on this side, so it's kind of a trade-off. You tend to do a lot more than just 2 iterations, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to get this, and then maybe if we had a 3 iteration, we would get something like this, and so we'd know how to get this one right, and then we might want to do something like then the next level we might do something like we kind of might want to segment these off, and you get something like that. And so this is kind of what happens. This is it goes through and it tries to get these right each time. And then so there's probably some reason that these kind of group together this way. And then when you get new points, you might get some right that are kind of in the same general vicinity. You might get some that are wrong. But so this is kind of what it looks like when you're going through and doing boosting. And it's a little more complicated. I don't want to get into the details because there's a whole algorithm behind it. And it's kind of hard to make up examples and draw these things and get these things correctly. So it's really best to actually visualize it. But I want you to kind of get the general sense of what's going on when we're boosting. We're basically doing 1-level decision trees, and we're trying to make learners that are experts on a specific chunk of data. And then what we do is kind of in the end we combine them all, and based on when we're trying to do new predictions, we say, okay, this learner this model that we've built, he's the expert on this area of data, so we're going to pass you to him. And then what we kind of end up with is a kind of a series of experts, and it's kind of known as being by committee. and a lot of times you'll see the literature and the examples talk about that. They'll say, okay, when we're talking about boosting, we have a committee, and everyone has kind of their expertise. Somebody's good at this subject, somebody's good at this subject, and somebody's good at this subject. And when we have a new case come in, we say, okay, well, this person is really the expert on this subject, so we're going to refer you to him. And that's really what we do when we do boosting. We have kind of segmented. We go through. We run the algorithm. In the end, we end up with a bunch of learners that are kind of segmented by their expertise and their specialty. And maybe this example didn't draw out very well, but I'll also post a video of a visualization of this. So hopefully that makes sense. Send me emails if you have any questions on this. So and your next assignment will actually be on bagging and boosting. So you don't have to understand all the internals, but it kind of helps to just know what's going on with the internals of these sometimes. That way you're just not kind of picking a machine learning algorithm from a drop-down list. So hopefully that makes some sense.